We are a broad research university in the north of the Netherlands with 11 faculties. Probably I should say more, but I already forgot. Oh yeah, of course, we have both the humanities and sciences, including the social sciences and the medical sciences. We implemented Pure 10 years ago as a quiz and a repository. A year later, our portal went live. Pure is managed at the university library, the UB. The Pure support team consists of a manager, a functional manager, a validation team of 3 people, and we have 4 library liaisons, and these library liaisons, they maintain the contacts in the faculties, and they also maintain the contacts with the Pure coordinator at the faculty. So, the audit is organized by SURF. SURF is a partnership of Dutch educational and research institutions in the field of ICT. It is becoming increasingly important to know where we stand with information security and privacy within our institution, how the sector as a whole is doing, and how our institution is doing compared to the sector. The goal is to gain a thorough insight in the current state of maturity of information security and cybersecurity. The audit focuses on various components like the IT applications, databases, operating systems, networks, and general IT management. The universities themselves can choose which applications or systems they want to have audited. For Pure, it's already the 5th audit, and the audit is carried out by Ernst & Young. The maturity model framework is a very important part of the audit. It has a clear structure with 15 areas, and each area has its own controls. The model also explains which risks it tries to minimize. It describes the reason for implementing the specific measures, and per maturity level, the specific measures are given. I'll explain this with an example in a moment. These are the 5 levels. It runs from initial, where measures are implemented or not implemented or inconsistently implemented, to a level with continuous and effective risk controls, risk issue resolutions. The aim of our board is to get to level 3. This is an example of the self-assessment form. It's a shortened version. The complete form consists of 25 columns. Fortunately, the Excel has how do you call it? 25 columns make it a real challenge to work on, and fortunately you can hide columns, so this is a much better way to work with. Under each maturity level, you can see the controls that are needed. I left out 4 and 5 because these are not our aim. So for identity and access management, one of the controls is the periodic review of access rights. If you don't do that, you run the risk that people have unauthorized access to the system. And the control objective is to have a clear view on the ist and sol situation. So if you're on level 3, you have not implemented anything at all. For level 2, there is a procedure, but it's not yet formalized. And for level 3, you have a clear, defined, formalized, and documented procedure. These are the audits of Pure we have done so far. And as you can see, we are making steady progress. So the Pure audit in 2024, we had 6 areas and 18 controls. The complete audit is 15 areas and 69 controls, but a large part is performed generically. So this is a shortened version we have to do. This is the process of an audit. First, we have to fill in the self-assessment form. This is in September, and we have to deliver the documentation. After that, we have a discussion with the auditor. We call it the line control. And after that, a concept report is made with all the recommendations for all the different systems they have audited. This is going to our management and all the other managements, and they have to write a response. And after that, together with all the responses, the final report is delivered to the board of our university. So in a few months, we have the complete process done. And now the most important part is the improvements made. So we have a document. Our main document is Pure Processes and Organization. It's completely revised. We have a new manual for the functional manager, because this is a key function. It's very important that you have described his function very clear and know what he's doing. Furthermore, we have updated the manual for the Pure support team and for the faculty coordinators. And we made sure via Trello that these manuals are reviewed annually. We made process descriptions for the call registration and for the change and access management. Here are some of the improvements you can see. So we want to make sure we perform the action we need by using Trello. Trello is a visual tool. You can see an example of Trello on the right-hand side. It allows our team to manage all the actions. You can add files, you can checklist, you can add due dates, so you get reminders of things you have to do. We have also recorded processes in templates, and by adding these due dates, we get reminders of the actions we have to need to take. And one of the other things we are working on is a UB-wide policy on IT use and changement. For next year, we have also two important issues or subjects, data management and supply chain management. And for both, we need approved policy, we need a clear classification scheme, and formal procedures about storage and retentions. And for supply chain management, we also need an approved policy and approved by our management. Yeah, that's it for me. And now I'm handing over to Lilian.
Thank you, Doetsje. I would like to give an overview of our preparations and also what it delivered us to prepare for this audit. Pure at UM is still not audited. We did the preparations, but only, thank you. We only did the preparation because shortly before the real audit starts, we hear which system is being selected. So we had to do a lot of preparations, but have not been audited. In this selection, only 10 concerned systems are selected. Sorry, I'm losing it here. And next to those 10 systems, there are also servers, workstations, and authentications that are audited. So this has always been done. Maastricht at Pure at Maastricht University is since 2016. 2020 we are in the cloud and also have the portal. We have a product owner, a technical manager who's also a developer, and we have 4 functional managers who also do the cleanup of Pure, like we heard for some of the people that were here in the previous session. So we do also the data validation of the master data. We had at Maastricht University a ransomware attack in the Christmas period of 2019, and I think that was also the initiator of this national actions to get all the information systems to be audited. In collaboration with our information manager and other managers of information systems that are located at the library, we prepare for those audits. And we set up a Confluence template where all the information that Doetsje just explained has separate pages. So we can manage all this data there. And every new system in our library that will be audited will use the same Confluence template. For our preparation, we had to prepare 56 controls out of the 69 that Doetsje already mentioned. When we had to prepare for the first time, we encountered a lot of challenges. The terminology used was completely unknown to us. The complete process of audits was unknown to us. Nobody of our team had any previous experiences with audits. We saw that a lot of information that we needed to handle the controls was either missing or we just couldn't find it. And this is information that we had to have from the Maastricht University itself, but also from Elsevier. Next to that, in this MBA control, there is also a part that you have to prove that you are in control for this specific part. And lack of proof was also a thing. A major part of this is Pure is certified, ISO certified, and as a proof of being certified, there is a application of there is finding it. Well, at least there is a documentation on it, and we didn't have it, and it was very difficult to get it. What we saw is that we manage a lot, that we have a lot of things we do, but we don't have the processes, we didn't have the procedures, and we didn't have policies present. So this was all lacking. We wrote several procedures in the preparations, processes and policies, as I just explained, that were lacking. And we did that on existing working methods. As I said, we have this template in Confluence, and also we reintroduced Jira to set up all our tasks and everything that we had to do. And it's all based on this framework. What we also did was the authentication for our administrative users, the other users than personal users. They were using the pure authentication, the simple authentications, and we had to all put them to the single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. Another example of what we achieved was the incident management process, and a part of this was the major incident process. And we have this chart here, and we can really rely on it when we have a big incident happening. We already had this in place, but now we have it very clearly, so we form a team and we can just follow this each step. And I know that you can't read it, but it's just for the idea that you can, if you have a major incident, just follow the chart and then you'll be at ease. You have the necessary patience to act on it and to inform everybody who has to inform, and you know who to go to when it goes the wrong way. Sorry, I'm losing my words here. We also did was introducing a configuration logging. What we did in the past was we talked about things that we wanted to change in Pure, we changed it, but then after time we forgot why we did it, who did it, in which part of the system we did it, and By introducing this and also putting in a JIRA issue for every change that we do, we can keep track. So we now in control of what we did, when, and why we did it. And that led us to a question, I don't have a poll in this, if others are also in need of a readable configuration logging. What we really would like is a configuration export, and this is a functionality that is already in Pure, but it is not readable. What we would like is to create this export of the configuration previous to a new release and also after, and then compare and see what the differences are. So that would be maybe a question for later. Are all others also in need of this kind of an export? Then, as I already mentioned, identity and access management, we changed our normal pure access for our editors, for the people who have more roles than just personal users, to single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. What we now have is what Doetsje already mentioned, an accurate overview of the SOL situation and the IS situation. So what we really would like and what we really have. So it's always there actually. What we also did is we created a break the glass procedure. So in a case of an event and we can't log into Pure, then as I said, also the administrators are now, they have to use the single sign-on. So in the case of any problems, then there is one user that can be used in the back end, but this user is locked. And we came to an agreement with Elsevier. When we asked them, they can unlock this user, and then we have the password for this user, but this password is stored in a password manager somewhere at the university who only a few people have access to. So, security, as bad as we can go. Then another thing that we did is we have this half-yearly service level agreements with Elsevier. Just recently, we revived these meetings with Elsevier. As said, now half-yearly, and as I have heard, also Elsevier is very glad to have these meetings with us. Then, as a summary, an audit is a very time-consuming administrative task. It was a challenge to find the right information or to get it. Elsevier can help every one of us with a standard package of information. And in the Dutch situation, it would also be nice to have this national vendor audit. And it's on the roadmap for, I think, 2025. And that means that a lot of controls that are host specific, so for the supplier, then we don't have to do it all ourselves, all the individual institutions, just serve. And then it's a perfect way to professionalize your system management, to be in control, to know what you have and what you don't have as procedures and processes. It provides a framework for the organization of system management. Have all those control and you know, oh, we're here and it's okay, then you can kind of lean back. And it also motivates us to constantly improve our work. That was it for me. Thank you.